Hello, welcome to this first lesson. On this first lesson, we're going to begin working on our icons in Adobe Illustrator. So first thing we're going to do, of course, is open Adobe Illustrator. And as you can see here, I have opened my document and created the document where I'm going to be working on. But if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to teach you very quickly how. All you have to do is go here to File, New, or press Ctrl N on your keyboard. And once you do that, a window like this is going to appear. And in here, you have to make sure that you have a resolution that works for your project. You have to have in mind that different projects, like different games, have different resolutions, so pick the one that works for you. You could go with something like 500 by 500 and then make sure that you're working on RGB color, because this is going to be a digital project. Once you do that, you're going to hit Create. So once you have your document open, what we're going to do is first work on an icon of a heart. So to do that, we're going to use the basic tools, or actually the basic shapes. So all you have to do is go here to your tools panel, and probably by default you're going to see this rectangle tool. But if you click and hold that click, you're going to see the rest of the shape tools. These are tools that we're going to be using a lot. So something I like to do a lot is go here to this little triangle and click on it. And that way you can make this window float and put it near your canvas. This is important because you can access very easily all the shapes, even the ones that doesn't have a shortcut. So once you've done this, you're going to select the rectangle tool by clicking here or pressing M on your keyboard. And you're going to make a rectangle that is around this size. And once you make your rectangle, you're going to go to your selection tool or press V on your keyboard. And all you have to do is, while dragging, you're going to press Alt to make a copy. Now we're going to align these triangles to create a circle, a heart. So to do that, we're gonna select both of them, and if you see here on the top, I can see my align tools. But also, you could go to Window, Align, or press Shift F7. Once you've done that, you're gonna have a window like this, and in here you can begin the aligning process. So first thing I'm going to do is select this rectangle, and actually I'm gonna go to one of the corners, and you can see how my cursor has changed, and then press Shift to move it on an angle of 270 degrees. Once I have it like this, one that is in the horizontal direction and one in the vertical, I'm going to align them. So I'm going to select both of them, click again on one, and you can see how my outline of this object has changed. Now it looks way more thick. And the reason of this is because, as you can see here on this icon, it has changed to be the key object. And this is exactly what we want, because we want this other rectangle to align to this one that is going to be the key one. So you're going to go here to horizontal align left, and then you're going to click here to vertical align top to align these two rectangles. Once you've done that, you're going to go here to Window, and then you're going to go to Pathfinder, or you can press Ctrl Shift F9. Once you've done that, you're going to get these tools, and you're going to click on the first one that is called Unite. Now you have your heart, and all you have to do is rotate it like this, and you're going to have a shape like this. And the next thing you're going to have to do is go here to your direct selection tool or press A on your keyboard and select both these anchor points and then these other anchor points while pressing Shift, And then you're going to go here to these little handles, and then you're going to drag them all the way to the center. And now you can see how we have a heart. And the next thing we could do is make sure that we're aligning to our artboard by clicking here or here. So you're going to go align to artboard. And once you've done that, you're going to click here on horizontal line center and then on vertical line center. So now your heart is right there on the center. Next, we're going to select this one and go here to Object, Path, Offset Path. And then we're going to have a little preview here to see how much we can offset it. And I think actually 10 pixels it's okay. And you're going to hit OK, and that's going to be your heart. Now I'm going to select the color of this, and I'm going to remove the stroke because I don't need it, and change the color to this red color, and then go to the one that I offset, and then I'm going to again remove the stroke, go to the fill, and select that one, the one that is darker. And once you've done that, you're going to have a heart that is like this. The next thing we want to do is have a little reflection on this heart, because we want to make it appear that it's shiny. So we're going to go to our tools panel, and we're going to select the pen tool or press P on our keyboard, and then make a point here, another point around here, and then you're going to drag to make a curve that is just like this. Now we're going to select this point again to break the tangency, And all we have to do is go back to this original anchor point, but make sure that we're covering all our shape. Once we've done that, we're going to change the color to this, let's say to something blue. And one thing I like to do when I create shades or reflections is that I go to my transparency window, and if you don't see it, you could go here to Window, Transparency, or press Ctrl Shift F10, and in here you can play with the blending modes. And one that I like a lot is overlay, and you can see how this is changing to something like this, and I think this is actually kind of working okay. And always remember that if you want to change your shape, you can go to your direct selection tool or press A on your keyboard and move this around until you find something that you think works better. For example, maybe for me, I think this should be a little bit more like this. And now I could probably change the color to something darker, because I think this would work better, and actually I think it does. So I'm gonna work with that blue. And the next thing I want to do is have a little reflection, or actually a little highlight here. So I'm going to go to my tools panel and select an ellipse tool, or press L on my keyboard. And I'm going to create an ellipse by clicking here. And then you could also press Shift to make a perfect circle, and Alt, so that now the place where you click is the center of your circle. So I'm actually just going to press Shift, make a circle around this size, and then what I want to do is change the color of this one to probably this lighter red. And you can see here that I have selected my colors in advance, but always have in mind that you could use the colors that work for your project. So for now I'm going to use this, but if your project requires different colors, feel free to pick whatever you think would work for your project. So I'm going to go and select this one and press Alt to make another one and release it there. And I'm going to go and again use tools for my pathfinder. So I'm going to select both of these and then go to the second one that is called minus front. And what this is going to do is going to remove the one that was in the front. Now I don't like these sharp edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to my direct selection tool or press A on my keyboard and select both these anchor points and then move the little handles around here. So I get some rounded edges right there. And I kind of like it like this, but maybe you can remove the transparency or actually decrease it to something around 80 and you have something more subtle. So I think that probably works okay. So I'm going to select all my shapes except the darker heart, and I'm going to cut them actually by going here to edit, cut, or press Ctrl X on my keyboard. And once I've done that, I want to select this shape of heart, and I'm going to go here, right here on the bottom where it says the third option that is called draw inside mode. And you can see that when I click on that, how this little dashed line has appeared, indicating that I can only draw inside the shape. So this is very useful because I'm going to be masking all the elements that I just created. So to paste them or to put them back where I had them, I'm going to go here to edit, paste in place, or you can press the shortcut Ctrl Shift B. And once you've done that, you can see how I place the objects where they were, and they have been masked inside that darker heart that we had before because we are drawing inside them. Now to go outside this, because right now you can only draw in here, you can go here and click on the first option, which is draw normal, or you can double click outside the shape and you can see how that outline is not anymore there. So the next thing we're gonna do is go here to our layers window, and again, if you don't see it for whatever reason, you can go here to window, layers, or press F7 on your keyboard, and you're gonna click here, double click here where it says layer 1, and just change the name of it to heart, because you want to be able to have your layers organized so you can easily know which one is which. So for now, this is going to be our first icon, and in our next lesson we're going to keep working on our icons in Adobe Illustrator.